Guys, hello from a very cold Dublin today. How are you?
Wow,
Good. We were
yeah,
just saying you look like you're in like a spaceship.
in the future.
Yeah.
It's our
How is
brand
it?
new studio, lads. It's perfect for selfies because you can put the light up. That's the only
Right.
thing.
Amazing.
Wow.
Good enough for me.
Jodie, can I ask when you've watched this movie for the first time, do you look back and go, "Oh my God, we did this"?
Yeah, I do actually, because it was incredibly challenging. Um, it was an incredibly
Yeah.
challenging shoot, which makes me feel all the more proud of the final product, and getting to see, when I think about having the initial conversation with Mahalia about what she wanted to create and being in such support of that, and then getting to see the film on the big screen. It was a really, really beautiful moment.
Mahalia, when you take something on that's been a book, is there more pressure to that than there is, in having other movies that don't have books behind them?
I mean, this is my first feature, so I don't know. I mean, I think for me, it's kind of amazing to have a book at the center because you've got something to re-inspire, to kind of connect with. So no, I feel like I want to honor the writer and what the writer went through to write the novel. And Megan Hunter wrote the most amazing book, and it was just such a brilliant source of inspiration quite a lot of the time.
Jodie, the one thing that I've noticed online that everyone's saying, it's the movie's about family. In my head, all I can think of is EastEnders with family all the time in the English accent. I don't know what it is with myself, but sorry, such a random thing to even say.
Random. That was quite random. Do it again.
I know.
Family.
Just log off now. But I think that's the beautiful thing about it, that it is about family, and like the when you're at your lowest ebb, like family gets you through it, or whatever your thought that family is.
Yeah, definitely. It was interesting in the end we start from, because you meet, you don't really know anything about their backstory, but we spent a lot of time, didn't we, figuring out who woman was. And you know we came to the conclusion, the decision, that she'd lost her parents, and actually R was her only kind of real sense of family that she had, which kind of makes her journey um all the more mighty, when you think they have to make that decision to leave each other. And then, of course, like the family that you pick up on the way, when I think of Catherine Waterson's um character O, and the kind of kinship and connection that they find and create. I think it's a huge testament to how, like, we need each other to get through things. We often can't get through things on our own, and I think the film really is an example of
Looks at
that.
connection, doesn't
Yeah.
it? And when they go wrong, and when they can't kind of be there for each other, and how you have to kind of find your new families as you move through. I think it's not a kind of like, it's not a clean family, is it?
No, it's
really
complex.
complex. Yeah.
Do you think, guys, that sometimes when people see this at first, they're thinking, oh, there's going to be like a disaster movie and all that, but when you look into it, when it's about more of family and your mind and all that, that's what I felt, that's even more scarier than having water thrown at you or wind or anything like that, because it does get into your brain a bit more to think, wow, we all suffer something, we can all get something like this, even if it's not a natural disaster.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think nothing in this film was done for for scope, like for a shock factor, or like, let's take this building that everybody knows. And it was more about, like, if you were in this situation, like, how would you emotionally, how would you get through this? How would you cope? How would your relationships last? Would they last? And I think you're right. I think that's why it feels more intimate, and I think you can connect to it in a different way, is because, like, these characters could be any of us.
Yeah.
And you're really kind of getting into their consciousness, and seeing what it is that they're going through. So it feels really intimate to me anyway.
Yeah. Because when you care about someone, or then you want to protect it, and that actually is quite a vulnerable thing, isn't it? Because you have to, that choice to protect. You kind of being putting yourself out there in some way, and I think women is forced to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Mahalia, before I go, I just want to ask you. I told a few people today that I was doing this interview, and I mentioned Jodie's name once. What? What? Where are they? What?
Yeah,
Have you been getting that quite a bit since this whole movie started?
yeah, awkward. I do quite a bit. Yeah, I do.
Boring. Thank you so
I
much.
know she's great. She's no, it's true though. It is true. But yeah, I do, and I love it. I'm like, oh yeah, Jodie was in my movie.
Jodie's like, why don't we just get rid of this guy when he started doing EastEnders Family?
Never.
Guys, thank you so much. And it was my
you.
first movie of 2024. So
Was
it's
it? Oh,
yes.
thank you.
Thanks for
Thank
watching.
you.